Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Bonsai Blacksmith. We are here back at the Atlantica Bonsai Forest. There's some updates that I need to talk to you all about this. I'm going to make some changes, reinforce it. We've had a really busy change of season from fall to winter in the southern hemisphere. Very windy, as you can see. Pardon the mess behind me. If you can see, there's leaves everywhere. So I'm going to address some of these wind problems and survivability through the winter here on the island. And I'm going to show you the changes I'm going to make in the forest. So let's get started. So here is the bonsai forest currently. We have the monkey's ear, or the Aurelia de macaco, also known as the tamboril. We have the pau Brazil, or pau Brasilia echinata. We have the jabuticabeiras, or the jabuticaba trees, but they seem all to be defoliated, possibly dead. And the jacaranda da Bahia, also defoliated and probably dead. And that's really what we got to talk about today. So what I'm going to do is address the elephant in the room. These trees are very tall and whippy for their root bases in such a shallow pot, not to be wired in and not to be well established, because you guys have been following along know that this isn't a very old bonsai forest. We've made a few changes already, a few things didn't make it. That continues to be the trend. I'm not sure why. It only seems to be the front half here that has the trouble. Anyone has any suggestions, please, in the comment section, tell me what you think of what's going on with the soil. But everything else seems to be growing. These ferns, the artillery fern is doing exceptionally well. We're going to have to cut that back today as well. So I have the tamboril braced. It had blown all the way over in the windstorm. It's growing very much, as we say, like a weed, but it's also budding everywhere. So I think we should take these wind hazards down. And I'm looking at the tree here, and we got some interesting internodes. Let me give you a close-up. So here's the tree we're going to zoom in on here a little bit. You can see there's a lot of prolific growth from the internodes, even new branches coming out of where the branches are already established. And they've got some of the old growth down here. So this is all new growth from here up. I have some really short internodes that I'm going to probably snip. I'm thinking right here is the place. That way we'd have all that weight and fulcrum taken off that root base. We need to do that to help that tree establish itself. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and get this cut started. Big cut, as Nigel likes to say. Get rid of that. All right, so we got the big cut on the Aurelia de macaco made. While I'm thinking of it now, I'm going to go ahead and put the wound sealant on there. I don't want it to dry out prematurely. I am unsure of the dieback on the species. I know that the leaves are appealing enough to most herbivores and insects for them to eat, including cats, believe it or not. They have one in the ground that the cat loves to go eat behind me. And unfortunately, for the last year, I've been trying to get it to grow, and every 2 weeks I come out to see the new growth. The leaves are on for a few days, and then they're gone the next night. I'm like, Jesus, cat. Anyway, enough about the cats. That has been sealed. I have picked up some, I've picked up some rocks here from the beach. It seems to be granite. Some nice inclusions in there. Some black patches, some red patches. And I'm going to cut back these ferns now so we can see what is actually going on here. Bye, fern. I appreciate your cool ground cover, but you've kind of taken over here. We need to cut you back. So I'm just going to do the sides here. I can do the whole spin too. We don't have much of a problem in the front, just a few random weeds. But here seems to be pretty thick. Now, if you remember from the last video, I did cut back because I went unsure about the ramification. I don't see any noticeable. There is ramification from my last pruning on these little ferns, or artillery plant. They call them fern, but they're really more of a plant. I don't see any distinct back budding from that. I think they just find a new shoot and just keep doing their creeping thing. Now, this branch of the tamboril, or the Aurelia de macaco, is quite dominant. I don't like how dominant it is. And then I got this one back budding this way. Although I kind of like that branch. I'm going to keep it for now. I'm going to take off the majority of the large branch here to help, again, stability. And this is going to back bud and grow like crazy. I know it. You guys remember from the video from before with the white mimosa, also known as the wild tamarind. That's already starting to back bud, and that's only been a few, 5 days since we did that. So, but you can also see the leaf difference. It's a smaller leaf than the Pau Brazil, just a little bit, and there's more of them in the bipennate structure. And they're not as glossy as the Pau Brazil. We'll discard that. And keep on cutting back the ferns so they behave. I don't know if they'll choke. They probably would choke out certain types of trees. Now you can see the wind moving the Pau Brazil like crazy. That's why I want to cut back these. The leaves are coming down already. That's why I want to cut back the ferns so I can see where I can place these rocks that I picked up to help stabilize both the Pau Brazil and the Tamboril. All right. You can see these poor jabuticaberas or jabuticaba trees they look pretty dead to me. I don't see any back budding at all. The wind, well, this trunk is still green on this one. On this guy here, he's still got a green trunk. So I think he's actually still alive. He just lost his leaves. So I'm going to leave him alone. Leave the dead one attached. That might actually turn into a cool half alive, half dead looking tree. Or I'll just remove the dead section later when I have to prune the root system on it. So I'm going to keep pruning these ferns back. See what we're doing. It is quite a mess. Yeah, there's some ramification results down there. I remember cutting that. Yeah, I'll cut that too. And I'm going to speed this ahead, and we'll go on to the removing of some of the dead trees. Here we are at my Mimosa bimocronata patch. By accident, the birds deposited some seeds here, and I got 4 free saplings out of the deal. I just let them grow, and I've been giving them water and fertilizing them when necessary. So I'm going to take one of these and put it into the Mata Atlantica forest. I think that's a better fit for now, and it's going to be a better adjustment, I think, because we're going into winter. All right, so I got the ferns trimmed down for the most part. I have a strategy. First, I'm going to shore up this tree so it does what I want. Originally, I planned it to kind of lean away. I don't want to tear it out of its... I don't want to reposition it right before winter here, or in the beginning of winter. So I'm going to give it a very heavy rock to keep it down. Yeah, I'm going to crush some of those ferns. That's all right. I'll go around it. That'll keep it from blowing inwards, left or right. It'll keep a weight on the roots because remember, we laid this long ways, and I'm thinking that's why this tree died. I'm actually just going to go ahead and pull this tree out. Yeah. Is it still alive? Something is. That's someone else's white root. This is dead. This jabuticaba. Let's check. Are you dead? Or are you sleeping? Huh. That will be a rude awakening if that's still alive. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if it's the green from the fern. I didn't clean these. Let's just snip that again. I'm just getting a little worried there. It might actually still be alive. Okay. That's okay though. That's okay. We're gonna take this tree and we're gonna plant it into another pot for now. I don't know what to do with this right now. I could put it back into the forest, but in this line here is a bad idea. You're going to be shaded by the Pau Brazil, and this root system is going to fight with this root system. But this root system is almost there. I think it ends in this zone, somewhere right here. So taking this out was a good idea. I'll check the jacaranda. Maybe this can go where the jacaranda is. So let's go ahead and check that out. Before I move on, though, I'm going to secure this other tree, the Pau Brazil, with another large rock for this corner, like so. don't want it to push it too much. I don't want it to hurt it either. And I have another rock in case we need it. So, let's spin this around and check out the jacaranda. Now, I am fairly confident that this is dead. Yeah, it is dead. It is dead to the core. Yeah, there's nothing going on down there. Yeah, it's dead to the core. There's nothing left, guys. That's trash. Sorry, jacaranda. I have another one coming from the nursery, though, to help replenish that loss. So, I'm going to keep looking at this jacaranda in the middle here. I am certain that this one is dead. Or at least partly dead, because I got some more green again. So, I'll leave the jacarandas in place, these two here, because they get more sunlight and they're not in direct plane of anybody. But that's 4 trees. We have an even number. We don't want that. So, the tree I showed you before from my garden stock, the Mimosa bimacronata, we're going to take that. I haven't done anything to the root system. It grew in the sand. I'm just going to just lay it flat into this system, but I am going to trim it way down. I'm going to do that right now for the sake of sanity. Looking at the inner nodes here and what I have for a tree. Cut right there. This will be our new tree. This will be thorny, ouchy stock that will be burning. I won't forget about this one. Don't worry. I could put this back into the forest, but my only concern is not having an even number of trees again, and that's bad luck, right? I might be able to put it into another forest, so stay tuned. So I'm going to take my root hook, open up this area here wide enough to accommodate my bimacronata. Like I said, I'm not going to do much to the roots here. I'm going to leave it intact. We're going into winter, so we don't want a lot of damage, a lot of stress to the tree. And I'll probably put a rock on this one just because of the wind situation. Sorry, ferns. This is the way it goes. Need a little bit more soil for the bottom here. Just throw that in there like that. It'll help flush out this corner. Pack it in tight. Center of the tree. I don't mean for that to be in line with the rest of them. Just kind of how that worked out. Not exactly in line. It'll be alright. So, put that there. Wound seal the top. Like so. Gotta get that rock up here quick. Get this on the branch cut there. Where I cut the jacaranda and I see green, I'm gonna cover that up. I apologize if you were still alive. They do defoliate when you transplant them sometimes. As a fair warning to people that are not familiar with the jacaranda tree, or as we say in Brazil, the jacaranda, which is the way we conjugate anything that's a tree, or most things. Like, for instance, guava, we grow that here. They call it goiaba, but they call the tree goiabeira. Well, there's your language lesson of the day. So, give you a spin around, show you what we got going on here. We got the Mimosa bimacronata, we got the tamboril, or the Aurelia do Macaco, and we have the Pau Brazil. Now, I'm not going to take some of this fern out here. It's a little bit too congested around this root base. Now, what I really want to do is plant this here, but at the same time I'm worried that it's going to cause a lot of damage to the tree. Here we go. Something more dramatic and also to help protect this tree as it grows. I'll move the stones around, but I want this tree to kind of lean in a little bit and just do its zigzaggy growth. So let's get a close-up on what I've done so far. So this is what we have so far. We got the tamboril. It's secured with a rock. We have the Mimosa bimacronata, the wound sealant, secure in the corner where the jacaranda de Bahia used to be. That was certainly dead. The unknown, maybe dead, maybe not dead, jacaranda, and the clumping of jacarandabas. This one actually still has a greenish trunk, and when I cut some of the lower branches here, there were still some green, so I'm going to just leave those alone. There is the Pau Brazil. secured with its new rocks. All right, so what did I learn so far about this Mata Atlantica forest? Well, I've learned that the Pau Brazil doesn't grow as fast as the Aurelio de Macaco. I also know that the jabuticabas don't like the wind and they also defoliate. They also pretend that they're dead when they're probably not. They're a little more resilient than I thought. Um, so it's good to keep in mind if you have defoliating jabuticabas, consider that they might not actually be dead. Um, the one I have, the reason why I thought these were dead is for there's a couple reasons. One, the episode I did with the jabuticabas, I did lose a few of those. These being amongst them. But it seems to me now that I went ahead and put the other one into a pot. See if that recovers. It may or may not. Like I said, it's winter. Defoliation before winter, not great. Here it's subtropical. Nothing really defoliates too much except for this tropical almond, which is technically invasive. It's not endemic of here. It's from the Indian Ocean, but it floats all over the place. So you'll see them everywhere in the world because they float. But that's neither here nor there. Keep in mind that that nothing seems to be straightforward with these types of trees. So be patient. Don't be like me in this one. If you have jabuticabas that lose leaves, give them a little bit more time than me, but that's okay. As I said before, having them underneath the canopy, probably not the best idea. This is going to be lost eventually, this branch, I'm thinking, most likely, so that's not going to be a problem. I'm having it grow in this kind of direction. And then this, Bimocronata, I hope it has like some side branches that can have it go this direction. And the Jabuticaberas, well, this one will be more of an informal upright in the middle. And the one in the back corner is going to be a grouping. Hopefully the other ones aren't dead. But we'll see. We'll definitely see. So if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and put them in the comment section below. Consider liking and subscribing so you can catch the next update on this forest and the other trees that I'm working on. Or if you like blacksmithing, I also do some of that. So until next time, take care.